Hello and welcome to February 2024's edition of What the Heck is Going On in the Denver Housing Market. If you're new to my monthly market update series, it's where I give you the rundown of what is going on today in the Denver housing market in super simple and actionable terms. I'm not just going to overwhelm you with a whole bunch of numbers and data. I'm going to break down what that actually means for you if you are thinking of buying or selling in today or in the next coming months here in Denver. So I'm going to do that, break down and simplify where we are today. The next thing I'm going to do is give you 3 things to know if you are a potential buyer and seller, once again, and simplify it so you know how to win in today's housing market. And if you're new to my channel, by the way, my name is Torrey Drake. I'm a local Denver realtor. I love making these videos, and I love even more to work with my clients. I'm using some new strategies with my buyers right now that's getting them the right home without overpaying, and some strategies with my sellers that's getting them great prices reasonably quickly. If you want to know what these new strategies I'm using are, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the YouTube description below. Let's get to the market update. Okay, so for the market report update, I'm going to share my screen and show you a chart that covers a whole bunch of things that might look overwhelming at first. However, once again, don't worry, I am an expert in simplifying stuff. So once again, even though this is February, February's market update is based on January's activity, so you can see this is January. Okay, so right out the gate, something really impressive that happened is we saw 2.7% appreciation, prices going up in January. That is largely because a lot of buyers are trying to jump back into the market before our springtime craziness. They don't want to get into those multiple offer situations. And that is reflected by the fact that we saw 42% increase in pending sales right here. 42% increase. That is really, really big. That's 42% more buyers jumping into the market, and they wanted to avoid the bidding wars, which is funny because they created them. Hence why we saw that appreciation go up almost 3% in a single month. We also saw 90% more new listings hit the market. So a lot of sellers who wanted to move had pent up demand from waiting through the holidays, and we had 90% more sellers jump into the market to list their homes, 42% more buyers, and all of that activity caused prices to go up 2.7%. What is really interesting though, here's a kicker, is that the median days to sell, despite that increased activity, went up 20% at 36 days, which makes, in theory, no sense. Shouldn't more buyers, more sellers mean homes are selling quicker? Yes, and here's my theory on why that is all these buyers right now are jumping back into the market and bidding up the price of the best new home in that price bracket. So someone shopping at the $500,000 price point, if a new property hits the market and it's like the best one, multiple buyers jump in, bid the price up, it sells really quickly, then causing the other homes that maybe aren't as updated or overpriced or aren't presented well, those homes are sitting longer because buyers are really interest rate sensitive right now. They don't want a fixer-upper, they want a move-in ready home. So any move-in ready home, all the buyers jump in on it right now and bid that up, causing that to sell quickly. And then the other homes are sitting for longer, causing our days to sell on average to go up. So that's a really interesting conundrum happening right now, as buyers are, where there's more of them, but they're being very picky. I've said this a million times, so the best ones are selling quickly and the other ones are sitting, which is why it's so important as a seller to make sure your home is prepared properly. So what does all this mean in actionable terms for you? Buyers, be ready to jump in if you're shopping for those the best homes in the price bracket. It's gonna get competitive, but that also means there's probably some gems out there that are just sitting a little bit longer because they may not look as good online, and those sellers might be willing to entertain a reasonable price reduction or help buy down your interest rate. If you're a seller, it just shows how important preparation for your home is, because you don't want to be one of those homes that are sitting for a long time, causing the rest of the other properties to sell quicker and the days on market to go up. That covers the market update version. Let's jump into 3 things to know for buyers and sellers. And by the way, guys, if you are digging the content, be sure to hit like and subscribe. It's a cheesy ask, I know, but it does mean a lot. It is very helpful. Let's dive into 3 things to know for buyers and sellers. Thing to know, number 1, is that sellers on average are getting 98.4% of their asking price, which shows that buyers and sellers are really coming together to make deals happen. Buyers aren't crushing sellers and, getting crazy amounts below asking price left, right, and center. And sellers also aren't getting, on average, crazy amounts above asking. Depends on the house though. And then so overall, buyers, don't be afraid to ask for a reasonable price reduction. Sellers, be willing to entertain a reasonable price reduction if it makes sense for all parties. Thing to know number two, looking at my notes here, is that, oh yeah, the best homes are getting competitive buyers. So if you see a phenomenal home in your price bracket, don't wait until like Sunday to see it. If it hits up the market Thursday, Friday, try to see it Thursday, Friday and get an offer in right away if you're in a position to make an offer that quickly. Sellers, just because our market is picking up doesn't mean that every single home is going to fly off the shelf. So do everything you can to make sure your home stands out. There's a few things that if you pay a lot of attention to and put a lot of effort in can really make the home pop, and a lot of things that just sellers think help a lot but doesn't actually help. If you want to talk strategy on how to get the most money for your property, feel free to reach out. I'm using a lot of strategies right now that are crushing for my sellers. Would love to have a no pressure conversation with you about those. Anyway, thing to know number three is that interest rates Thing to know number three is that interest rates are projected to come down in the springtime, which if and when Thing to know number three is that interest rates are projected to be coming down in the springtime. Nobody knows for sure. Anyone who claims to know for sure is wrong and lying, but we are confident and optimistic that they will. If that happens, it's gonna get even more competitive. No surprise there. Buyers, it's gonna get even more competitive with more buyers in the market. And sellers, once again, it's gonna be really great for home prices, and your ability to sell. But once again, make sure you do the right work and the best work you can to prepare your home so it can capitalize on that increased demand. Because if it doesn't sell and sell quickly when every other home is, the offers you do get are gonna come in lower and lower the longer that property sits. So you wanna make sure to position yourself properly to sell quickly. If you guys have any questions, once again, my name is Torrey Drake. I am a Denver real estate agent, and I'd love for you to leverage the strategies I'm using for my buyers to get the right home at the right price without overpaying. For my selling clients, we're using some new strategies that I implemented when rates were higher that got them great offers reasonably quickly that I think is just going to crush in our spring market even more so with increased demand. So whether you're a buyer or a seller and you want to talk about what these strategies could look like for you, feel free to reach out. My contact information is below. Thank you guys for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you so much. Goodbye.